Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been a while since I actually posted anything. So this time I think I'm going to be talking about everything that I actually switched to Linux and how I did it, and how it has affected my day-to-day life and what you guys should expect if you guys do the same. So for this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about my desktop, my laptop, my little console that I created for my TV for home gaming, as well as my servers and the alternative I use when Linux is not an option. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the big pointer. That's the gaming PC, you know, the editing rig, which is the one behind me right now. It is of course running, and I should maybe have gone with an AMD, but it's running an Intel Core 13400F. It has 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, which also has XMP enabled, of course, and a RX 9060 XT with 16 gigabytes of video RAM. So it's fairly okay for everything that I'm doing. Of course, AMD cards will be better for Linux compared to NVIDIA. It just to build in it, it's so much easier to just have an AMD card when switching to Linux. If you have an NVIDIA card, don't worry. If you use Fedora, you can download the driver installers and updates via the package manager and the software center. So it's a little bit more steps involved with that, but it should work fairly okay. The one thing where like NVIDIA graphics cards for me personally has faulted me is when I wanted to, but when you want to use a like Bayside gaming mode, when you boot directly into like the console image of the distribution of Bayside, it just doesn't really work with NVIDIA. I could of course be wrong, it could be patched, but right now when I tried it like a few months ago, it just didn't work at all. So I actually bought an AMD card used so I can use that instead. I do of course, most of my peripherals don't need software. I do of course have my Razer mouse here, but I have been able to use a software called OpenRGB to control that, and as well the RGB that's connected to my fan and my motherboard as well via the software there. So that was actually a pretty quick fix, to be honest. I've tried to make my wife switch to Linux, but at this point I have not made it happen. She's not using Windows, she's using the Apple ecosystem, so iPhone, MacBook, you know, Apple Watch, iPad, stuff like that. So it's been hard to switching her over, and I get it, MacBooks are nice. I would have done the same thing if I needed that for studying, but I edit videos. My work doesn't require me to have a work laptop, so that's not necessary. That's why I bought an old ThinkPad. Of course, there's some hiccups with this. I still dual boot Windows. Dual booting Windows only for playing actually Battlefield 6 and DayZ with mods. That's pretty much it, so I rarely touch it. There's of course some alternatives that I do use. You can see there's a PlayStation 5 over here, which I do play some games on, which I find difficult or I don't really want to tinker with on Linux. For example, one game is the Elder Scrolls Online. I do play that like a few times a month. Also Ubisoft games, for example Assassin's Creed, I never, like, they work sometimes and then they didn't work the other times because of this, the third-party launcher which Ubisoft uses. So I just have them on the PlayStation. If I ever buy any Ubisoft games, I buy it on the PlayStation. Easy as that. Like 99% of my games which I play works on Linux. When I switched over, I did miss some software from Windows, which I never really got working on Linux, which one of them was DaVinci Resolve. I was heavily invested in that software when editing my videos, and this time around this didn't really work. I got it working, but then like the codexes weren't involved with the free version of Linux, so there were some codexes that just didn't pop out. It's just black. I could hear the audio, but like they couldn't for some, I think it was some license thing, like fee they didn't pay or something for the free version, where on Windows you could, but on Linux you could not. So I just ended up going with the software called Kdenlive. For some people that does like advanced editing stuff with a lot of keynotes and stuff like that, it will probably lag a few features, which you will probably want to use like Final Cut on MacBooks or something like that instead, or dual boot Windows for using DaVinci Resolve. But I can live with Kdenlive. The most editing I do is a few of the zooms, you know, and cutting clips together and using a few timelines with audio tracks and stuff like that, and enabling audio. For recording my videos, I use my phone plugged in with a ring light on a tripod and with these DJI's microphone, wireless microphones, which is like for the price awesome. If you want to do like YouTube stuff, buy them. They're pretty fucking cool, to be honest. Use your phone camera. Right now I'm using a Motorola phone with 4K 30 frames. I can also do 1080p 60. 4K 30 is plenty for like the videos I'm making right now. The files do need to be transcoded. when I use it on KDN Live, because they do like recorded MP4 files. KDN Live, for some reason on my version, only want to use like AV1 or Matroska's video file system, so it does need to transcode every single time. It is lossless, so don't lose any quality or anything like that. And for recording, I use OBS. I just downloaded it via the software center and just works straight out of the box. It works great with my capture card, both the Razer one and as well with my other capture card, which I can't remember the name of. I haven't used it for a while. It does 4K 60, but I'm just using my Razer, which is 1080 60 FPS. Pass through as well, which is fine for the PlayStation and the Switch, which is behind me. That's what's my desktop. If you want to see like the video on my ThinkPad, you can go into my channel. There's a video on that where I turned it into like where I installed Linux. Right now there's Fedora on it. I use Fedora on this one, my desktop, so I just naturally install Fedora after the video on my ThinkPad lab. The other things I wanted to talk about is actually my two servers over here. We can just pivot over there for a second. So the two servers you see here in the corner over there is running on Proxmox, which I can like adjust via my browser where I log in. So this little guy here's a ThinkCenter lab, like an old ThinkCenter mini PC, which actually runs my Minecraft server. And right now it's running locally. I did have it installed with Tailscale before, so I can access it anywhere else, but it just didn't quite work right. So I just like wiped the whole thing and did it over and just used for local servers. But it's running 24/7, so if I'm growing crops and stuff like that, they're growing when I'm not playing. So that's why I'm running it right now. My wife is there too, so it's perfect. The big one right here, that is my Jellyfin Media server right now, running a GTX 1060, 3 gigabytes of VRAM and an i7 8600 with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. So it's pretty beefy for a Jellyfin server. Right now it's running with two 1 terabyte hard drive, which is right now storing all my my movies and all my shows and stuff like that. The shows I rip, so the movies I rip with this Blu-ray drive here, which is like a slim model that I took out of an old mini PC. It's using like SATA connectors to USB with 5-volt power, and right here there's an adapter for SATA Slim, which connects this to the SATA drive, which I can use via USB, powered with 5 volts. So I use this to rip via make MKV, and then I transcode it with Handbrake to get the file size down. I use AV1 format. And for anything else gaming, I have my Switch, which right now actually is running where I'm playing like Skyrim, Fire Red, Fallout, stuff like that, which I never really, like, it worked on Linux, but just wasn't like nice playing on Linux. So I bought the bundle when it came out, basically. So yeah. Next up, and the last one actually, is my mini PC over here, which is running a Batacera Linux. So it's like a big picture mode kind of thing, which is running like old emulators, Xbox 360, Wii, stuff like that, NES. I'm gonna show you that right now. This was the machine that I was talking about. So this one I put on Batacera Linux so that I can run like all the old emulation stuff. So Xbox, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, stuff like that. And that's just basically running on the CPU there. There's 8 gigs of RAM, and it's just running via the Xbox controller, which works awesomely. There's no haptic feedback like I have on my PlayStation, but it's fine, you know. And it boots directly via the USB to my 4K TV. And I can just play whatever I want. So let's just fire this bad boy up. I'm going to just show you quickly what's on here and how I use it. Now, as you can see, I've fired up the Batacera mini console here, and right now I have some few games on here. For example, my Xbox here, which is running Grand Theft Auto, Halo, and Halo 2. I need to upgrade to another one because it's not powerful enough to run these games, but I just have them on there. The good thing about Batacera Linux is that when I want to move just like the SSD, I can just move it over to another system and update it with all the updates, and I won't have to reinstall my games, which is what I understand from this one. What I'm playing right now though is GameCube games, and I'm running Gale of Darkness, which is the one I'm running through right now. So we can just boot that thing up, and it boots up into Gale of Darkness, which you can see with these nice like little borders around here. Some of these games are made by 4x3 TVs, and modern TV standards like 16:9. So as you can see here, it's running amazing, and the audio is great. There we go, Gale of Darkness. Let's just press start here, boot up into the game for a quick minute, as you can see, and everything is working straight out the box. You just have to install the operating system just like you do with a normal operating system. So, and I've only been playing for 22 minutes because I just haven't been able to play that much games because of the kids. But as you can see here, it runs 30 FPS right now, or 60 actually, in 1080p. I've used some upscaling, of course, and some like deinstallers and some filters to make it look a bit better. But yeah, it's awesome. When I get like a better GPU for this one, or just upgrade this mini PC to one that actually has a PCIe pass-through, I can actually put a GPU in here. So yeah, that's it. So my desktop, my laptop, my little PC on my TV stand, and my 2 servers are Linux right now. The only thing that I really don't use Linux for is my gaming consoles, as you saw. If you have any questions about switching to Linux, drop a comment down below. I'm still very new to this, so don't expect me to have a lot of knowledge about this. Mostly my journey right now has been trial and error, to be honest, so don't expect that much. I'm still in the learning process, so yeah. Next project? I don't know. If you have any project suggestions, throw them down below and definitely check them out, because this is a very time-consuming hobby and big rabbit hole for me right now, so I might do it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.